Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going well, Stephen. We had a great weather weekend, and yeah, we can't complain.
It was beautiful here. Beautiful here. My birthday is next Saturday, but I start celebrating this weekend, and it was just beautiful. Just beautiful. So, fingers crossed I passed my COVID test and I can go on my birthday trip.
Yeah. Well, good luck, and with the daily numbers, I think of getting vaccines, I think this is looking good for us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, are you all good with getting the vaccine at this point now?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. If they say tomorrow, I'll be there. Give me Sputnik. No, don't give me a Sputnik, but give me all the other ones, and I'm ready to go.
And Chike's already fully vaccinated, so he's
hmm
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
good. That's good. Well, listen, y'all take it away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I had plans for this weekend to watch actually the Mauritanian, but with the recent Oscar nominations that came out this morning, I decided to switch it up, and I went to go see Minari. And Minari is a Korean film that stars Steven Yeun, and I think you may know him from The Walking Dead, but it focuses on this family that in the mid 1980s that moves to Arkansas to start a farm and work on a farm, and follows the kind of rural life that this family endures. It's a husband and wife, and then two children. And then eventually the grandmother comes to help, with the children and everything like that. And it really focuses on the characters and their life and what they have to endure to start a farm in the 80s in rural Arkansas for this time period. So, without giving too much, it was really good. They did a great job of kind of giving you that feel of being kind of a not just an outsider in a new land, but almost an outsider that's kind of in a new territory of learning how to deal with this lifestyle of working on well water and having tornadoes come around and things like that. So I can see why it got nominated for Best Picture. It's definitely did a good job of giving that experience. And yeah, if you're looking for something different, again, this is a drama in the sense of it's about the humans and their interactions with things. So you're not going to get a lot of action, but I think they did a great job of telling the story, and highly recommend.
Very good. That's your only film that you saw?
Yeah, that's my only film. Sorry.
Okay, it's all good. I saw My Salinger Year, which stars Margaret Qualley, Sigourney Weaver, and Douglas Booth. And I will be honest and tell you the only reason that I watched this particular film was because I'm a Sigourney Weaver fan. I love anything that she's in. And I had no idea what this movie was about. I read, of course, the overview, but it was mainly Sigourney Weaver why I tuned in. And it's about a young aspiring writer who lands her first job after college. Actually, she doesn't go back to college. She leaves college before her last semester to go take a job with a publishing house. And the publishing house actually publishes J.D. Salinger's work. And she begins to learn what the literary world is from the inside out, as opposed to her being a writer and then going to go find publishing. She's actually learning from the inside out, and she actually becomes actually pretty close to J.D. Salinger and working in close proximity. If anyone knows anything about J.D. Salinger, he was a little recluse and did not do interviews, and he did not subject himself to his fans or anything like that to the outside. It was just a relationship between him and his publisher, and she was able to bridge a gap and actually forge a relationship with him. It was pretty interesting. It was very inspiring and hopeful. To anyone who is a writer, this would be a very interesting film to absorb. So check it out. It was pretty good. I don't know necessarily that it's going to win any awards or anything, but it was a really good film in an artsy way.
Okay.
So
That
definitely check it out.
that one was definitely on my list, and I
Mhm.
heard it pitched to me as Devil Meets Prada or Devil Wears Prada for books. If and I didn't, I don't know if it felt like that to you, but that's how it was.
So I definitely thought about that because Sigourney Weaver does give that air. She is that character.
Mhm.
Um, and there are comedic moments. If anyone is into uh which I do have an affection for, females in power that give shade. This is it. Sigourney Weaver does give that very well. And then, slowly but surely, the ice begins to melt as it relates to the lead character and how she warms everyone's heart because she's just so genuine and pure. She has a really honest take on her intent to be in this space. And Sigourney Weaver just loathes her from the beginning, but she actually winds up warming up to her. It's a really good movie. Check it out.
Awesome.
I think I actually thought about you, Adam, because this would be a movie. My second film is from the Shudder app, the horror app. Of course, you have to get my horror in. It's called The Dark and the Wicked, and it stars Marion Ireland, Michael Abbott, and Xander Berkeley. So this film is about a farm family who's slowly but surely being, I'm going to say harassed. I don't even want to say haunted. They're being harassed by some kind of malevolent spirit. And I'm just going to say this movie it wasn't a bad movie. It was very dark and it was a downer because I'm not going to tell you the particulars, but the ending just wasn't nice. I felt so bad for this family, and it did not end well. And there was just no hope in sight. And so it was just bad. I hope it wasn't based off true events. They didn't mention that at all in the film, but it was just a very dark, dank, dreary, overbearing. So if you're into horror, this would be a good movie to watch if you want to feel that way. But damn, did I feel for this family in this movie. Like, it was like, oh Lord. But one thing is said in this movie that I kept saying, as I was watching it. The family did not believe in God. So you're doomed from the beginning if you don't believe in God. And like, what do you do? Who do you call on? How do you get help? You don't. But check it out. I thought it was good in a horror sense, but boy, I was depressed at the end. Like, oh wow.
Yeah.
It's very intense. And again, the Shudder app, it's just filled with horror. So if that's your genre, Shudder app never fails me. I can always find something on there that, for my horror fix.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I'm also watching, I didn't put it on my list to talk about, but I'm also watching a documentary on HBO Max, Farrow versus Allen, or Allen versus Farrow.
With Woody Allen's one.
But
yeah,
it's the story of Woody Allen and Mia Farrow. They were in a 12-year relationship, and one of her daughters says that Woody Allen molested her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Woody Allen subsequently married another one of her daughters, and they're still married today. That's pretty deep, man. I'm going to watch the final episode because it comes in parts, and I think the last part came on last night, and I didn't check it out. But it's pretty intense, and it's pretty deep. And, of course, I knew the story about him marrying Sun-Yi, but I did not know that there were allegations of him molesting another daughter. I had no idea about that part. And then how Hollywood rallied around him and gave him support as it relates to the allegations against him. And yet, and still, we talk about this cancel culture. Woody Allen hasn't really been canceled, has he? I don't recall ever hearing a campaign to cancel him.
Yeah,
so I'm curious to see how this is going to end. I have to watch this last installment, and then I'll talk about it on our next show.
Sounds great. Well, guys, I didn't watch anything. I've been.
And another thing. Sorry, I know I missed last week, and I know, Adam, you probably talked about Coming to America. I just want to say for the record, I'm not a fan. I did not like it. I thought everyone looked good. I thought that it was beautiful. I love the story. The problem that I have with it, it was not enough funny for me. I did not laugh.
Please.
No, that's fine. I think so. And if you watch the review, Chike, you can let us know. But I pitched it as it was a movie that I didn't know was really coming out. Didn't really need to happen. I had low expectations, and it was good if you go in with Right, like it's something. It was like a surprise that you didn't know was
Right.
coming. Like maybe a known Christmas package that you're like, oh, this is 3 months late, but I'll watch it, and it was fine. So
Yeah, I had low expectations too
So
because I heard bad reviews, but I thought it was hilarious. I was cracking up.
you thought it was hilarious?
The movie. Yeah.
I think that this is the best role that she probably ever had in her life. I will give her that. And yeah,
Who?
she probably was the funniest in the movie, but I can't give it that. After coming off the heels of Dolomite with Eddie Murphy, I was expecting more to be put into Coming to America, being as though this was a part of his brand already. And I'll say this. This seemed like a movie that Eddie Murphy was starring in that he had nothing to do with the production, as opposed to this being the sequel to a movie that was a hit movie that was his.
Yeah, I mean, his
Yeah,
daughter
I
was
wanna
in
stick
it,
with
so
that.
he had a
That's
little
it.
bit of say.
Yeah. And she had to audition too. She didn't just get the role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chike, the older generation finds it funny, or maybe that's what it is.
I thought it was hilarious. I'm sorry.
I'm the oldest on this panel.
Really? Oh man.
I
Okay.
thought it was hilarious. I have to say, I'm sorry. And I've watched it 3 times. I watched it today, actually.
Oh wow.
Really? Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I did enjoy it, but I don't know about rewatches.
Yeah. To me, it was just a good movie. But
Yeah.
but I don't think it was as good as the first one, obviously. But I think it was 30 years later, seeing the same characters. You know what I mean? Everyone looked good.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
So in discussion with a couple of friends, we were talking about that and what could he have done to make it funnier. And then someone brought up a good point about being raunchy or being funny in the way that Eddie Murphy used to be funny. And now in this culture, that would be offensive. And so I'm a little curious because he's going on record in saying that once the pandemic is over with, he's going to do stand up again. I wonder what that's going to be like in this day and age of cancel culture and you being limited on what you can say. Because the
That's
only one that I've seen to be able to pull that off without a hitch is Dave Chappelle.
yeah, I think a lot of comedians are having to reimagine their acts. You know what I mean? Because everyone's so sensitive now. But
Yeah.
this thing about comedy is supposed to be kind of risque. You know what I mean?
Well, and comedy evolves, and I'll say this about Eddie Murphy. I like him a lot. He's not ineffable, though. I mean, do we remember Party all the time?
Right.
So let's not
That
just.
was a big hit. That was a hit.
It was a hit. It was a hit. But I mean, it's fine of what he is, right? I don't think I'm expecting too much.
And I didn't realize he did a song recently with Snoop, like a couple years ago. Snoop Dogg. I didn't know that. Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
He was on CBS this morning. That's why I saw it. But anyway. Well, we'll see what happens, but keep entertaining us. Keep entertaining us.
Exactly.
Well, listen, Chike Adam, thank you for letting us know what to spend our time and our money on and what not to. And have a great week. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Have a good birthday.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, right back after this.